Ask anybody. I am late to the party, and I learned all of these things about the business of photography far too late. I want to give them to you now in the hope that you don't spend as many years as I did getting to where I am today. Now, I want to preface this with I'm very proud of where I am today, and I'm very pleased with what I've achieved. It's more than I expected, but looking back on it, it could have been quicker and far less painful. And the first one I want to touch on is how money works in business. Now, thankfully, my amazing accountant, Caroline, got me onto the profit first system, which basically means if £1,000 comes in, 500 goes into my pot for salary, 300 goes into my operating costs, or 150 goes into my tax packet, and then 5 goes into my bonus. 50, 30, 15, 5. That is the ratio at which you break your money down if you want to stay in business. It makes life so much easier because I can look into my 50% pot in my bank, because banks let you do this stuff now automatically. I don't even have to do it manually anymore. I look in there and I go, because I pay myself a nice round number each month, I've got that many months or years of salary sat in that pot. Brilliant. I look at my 30% pot and I know what my overheads are, because you must know your numbers, and I can go, brilliant, my business can keep running today for 18 months without any more money coming in. Perfect. I've got my tax set aside, not having to worry about it, and I've got a little bonus pot over here. Now, in the past, I spent my bonus on holidays, but now we're starting to spend it on new business ventures. So my 5%, that comes out each quarter, and we start something new with it to make more money, which leads us into the second one, which I see so many people failing to do this. It's insane, and it is well documented that this is the right way to do it. You need 7 streams of income. 7 streams of income. That doesn't mean you need to have 7 day jobs, no. But you need 7 streams of income. So let's take me, for example. I have my photography. I have my Tin House Studio website with all the workshops. I have my YouTube ad revenue. I have my sponsorship deals from various social media platforms. I have a second company I shall not name, which is doing quite good at the moment. I have some investment money which comes in monthly on sort of like, this is making me money because I invested in a thing which pays out. And number 7, I work as an agent. I work as a photo agent. So having all those bits coming in, it just means nothing is going to go wrong. Any one of those can be my job. And I can live as a bit, like, when I say live, I don't mean have everything I want, but I can keep my life going. If one of them goes down, doesn't matter. If one of them dries up, doesn't matter. If one of them's having a bad month, doesn't matter. If YouTube disappears, doesn't matter. Although I do like doing this, so I would be a little bit gutted, but we'd find something else to fill that thing. 7 income streams. Now, it could be for you that you rent kit out. It could be that you rent, I used to rent my studio space out. I used to have people renting desks in there. I don't like that anymore because I like to have a nap in the middle of the day. Teddy's having a nap down by my feet at the moment, but I don't do that anymore. But that was one of them. And every time I find a new income stream, I lose something I don't like doing. And we bring it all in. Now, you're probably going, how the hell do you do all of that in one go? I have staff, I have people. Yes, I'm in here by myself. We have remote workers, everything's outsourced. Like, there's a lot of people that make this whole thing work. It's not just me doing a 200-hour work week. And I know that someone I was speaking to recently said, I feel really lazy, you would do all these things. I still just work a normal week. And we're trying to get it down to a 45-hour week by the end of the year in the studio. And then other stuff obviously happens in the evenings and outside, but that's what we're aiming for. But have those different income streams. Anyone who's relying on one income stream in the current climate is either, well, they either have parents to bail them out or they're just delusional. Okay, the next one. It's all about who you know. Now, this phrase is utterly useless. Utterly useless. It is all about who you know when you know them. I started off knowing nobody in this industry. I didn't even know another photographer. I didn't even know food photography was a job. I mean, obviously looking back in hindsight, of course it is, but I didn't know. No one came to school and went, oh, by the way, you make a lucrative living shooting ad campaigns for food brands. Obviously, when you say it out loud, it's like, yeah, obviously, but I didn't know. It is useless advice, and it is a useless thing to say, oh, you need to know somebody. Go and find somebody. Go and make some friends. That's what I had to do. I didn't know people. And of course, once you know them, you're in. And yes, of course, it's all about who you know, but you need to go and know those people. Now, the next one is something I was so guilty of in the early years of my career. It paid for itself in 2 jobs. It paid for itself in 1 job. I got a job on for 10 grand to buy a camera for 10 grand. It paid for itself. No, it didn't. I revert you back to the 50, 30, 15, 5 rule. Didn't pay for itself. Very few things pay for themselves and very few upgrades make you more money. For example, I've got a Fuji GFX Mark 1 S, I don't know. Anyway, an old one. If I buy the new one, it's better. Can I afford it? Yes. Will I make more money because I've bought it? No. So even if I get a job which pays £10,000 and I spend 10 grand on the new camera, I don't know how much it costs, but say that's the price, it hasn't paid for itself because only 30% of that 10 grand is for operating costs and I've got all of the rest of everything to pay for. But also, it's not made me any more money. So stop kidding yourselves, do the 50, 30, 15, 5 rule, and if you find out you can't afford anything, you can't afford anything. That's just the way it is. Okay, now the next one is the reason I went into photography, and in hindsight, it was a stupid reason to do it. Don't take advice from family or friends. All my friends went, yeah, go for it. Now, it turns out in hindsight, a lot of them are going, you absolute idiot, you've got a good thing going here with a proper job in London. Why would you go and be a photographer? Also, you suck. But no one would say that to my face. Don't take advice from friends or family. They will only tell you what you want to hear. Now, this next one's great, and it's something my girlfriend got me onto, and I'm going to butcher the phrase anyway. And it's something I tell a lot of people who I find falling into this trap. Don't fall off your ladder, straining your neck, looking at other people climbing theirs. Don't waste your time looking at the competition. Often, I will find myself fixating on a particular photographer who I feel might be doing a little bit too well compared to me, or I might be a little bit jealous of. Don't unfollow them, that's a bit of a dick move. Just hide them from your feed. Don't fixate on what other people are doing, do you. The amount of times I've met up with people years ago, like, oh, so jealous of you back then, and they felt exactly the same about me. Like, it's the nature of the game, but just don't do it. Focus on you, stay in your lane, spend all of that energy doing your work, not looking at what other people are doing. The next one's super short, super quick, super sweet. Outwork talent. I have no talent. I have no natural ability. I am not a naturally gifted person. Outwork talent. Talented people have a massive cross to bear because with very little effort, they can do enough. For me, I have to do a lot of effort to do enough. And when you can do enough doing very little, you kind of coast. And I know because I have talents in other areas and I coast in them and I never achieve in them because I'm like, yeah, I can turn up last minute and get the job done. But outwork talent. And the final one, and this is a very good advice from last year being such a horrific year in the industry. Nothing is permanent, but that's good or bad. When you're winning, when you're riding high, it's not permanent. And when it sucks and you're not getting any work, it's not permanent. Good or bad, it isn't permanent. Don't fixate on what's going on right now. Stick to the process, keep rinsing and repeating it, get those test shoots in. Things will change, things will get better, or they will get worse. See you soon. Bye-bye.